Hello, gamers. How you doing? Um, People kind of ask me, what is downtime? What is downtime all about and everything? So I'm trying to do a short video to explain what downtime is. So according to D&D, downtime activities are tasks that usually take a week, 5 days or longer to perform. These tasks can include buying or creating magic items, pulling off a crime, and working at a job. The character selects a downtime activity from among these available and pay the cost of the activity in time and money. You, as the GM, then follow the rules for the activity to resolve it, informing the player of the results and any complexities that ensure. Consider handling downtime away from the game table. For example, you could have the players pick up their downtime activities at the end of the session or then communicate about them by email, text, or Discord as we do until you next see them in person. So, and here goes an example of activity, example of a downtime activity. The following activities are suitable for any player who can afford to pursue them. As the DM, you have the final say on which activities are available to the characters. The activities you allow might depend on the nature of the area where the characters are located. For example, you might disallow the creation of magic items or decide that the characters are in a town that is too isolated from major markets for them to buy such items. All right, so that's pretty much the way D explains how downtime works and sort of how we do it. This is a good way because you get more money than anything, and then you get items that you can't use or you don't know what to do with and stuff like that. So you can sell these items, which is a downtime activity, so you can obtain the money to purchase the things that you want. In my case as a GM, it makes things easier on me because I don't have to focus on stocking the dungeon with stuff that I think the players may need, like a fighter, which is well, let's say wizards, because there's rarely do wizards find all the stuff they might find a spell book, couple scrolls here and there, but rarely are they find like wands and staffs and stuff. Like a druid might not find things that they need. So this downtimes allow them to take, their spoils and stuff that they get from the dungeon and sell those items and then use the gold to buy the magic items that they need. And that's more to just downtime to just buying and selling magic items. So we're going to go through some of that. But I'm just saying I love it because I don't have to worry about stocking the dungeons. I don't have to worry about, oh man, there's something in here for me, because they can go in and say, oh cool, nobody wants this wand of magic missiles. I need a wand of fireballs. So they say, can I have a wand of magic missiles? I'm going to sell it and buy me a wand of fireballs instead. So it has all kinds of different variations and stuff that you can do to obtain items and get tasks done. And we kind of expand on that with all kinds. We added some more different types of downtimes along with the ones that come with the D&D Xanagart guides for downtime. So I'm just gonna open up the MOTD, and most people should know about this. And go here, we'll go down to the downtime and take a look at this. All right. So here's the activities that you can perform during your downtime. You can buy a magic item or an item. Okay, if there's an item that's pretty expensive that you can't find, so it's not limited to just buying a magic. You can carouse. You can create a magic item, so that's a way that you can go. If you're an enchanter, if you have the enchanter skill, that'll be a different video. You can actually be creating magic items, or if you are a crafter like an armor smith, weaponsmith, which is also something that we added in, and that will also be a different downtime based on. I'll do that something on the skills and stuff. You'll be able to craft weapons and armor. So let's say you have a group and you have someone who can enchant magic items, and then you can have someone that can craft weapons and armor and stuff like that. So one player can craft the item. Like I said, I want a suit of armor. So the one guy can craft the armor so it can be superb, exquisite, masterwork. Get into that. That's a later video as well. And then they can take that And well, it has to be exquisite if you're going to enchant it, but they can take your exquisite armor, give it to your fellow companion gamer who's playing with you, knows to enchant stuff, and then they can enchant the armor for you. And of course, all this takes time and money and stuff, but they can do this stuff with downtime. You can commit a crime, gambling, pit fighting, relaxing, religious service, basically doing something for your church or something, researching whatever, ancient history about a tomb you're about to go into. You want more detail about it, and nobody else seems to know. You can scribe scrolls. You can seek a crafter or enchanter. So let's just say let's say you found a masterwork blade, okay, and it's not magical, but in masterwork items have do a die higher in damage. Like a long sword normally does a D8. If it's a masterwork long sword, it would do a D10 instead. So let's say you find a masterwork long sword and you want to make it a +1. Okay, so you found this, so you go and you seek an enchanter during your downtime. Say, hey, I got this masterwork longsword. Can enchant it? So it's +1 to hit. So it's magically +1 to hit damage. And you can do that. You can you can sell a magic item or non-magic item. You can sell. So if you have like, let's say you found that magical +1 weapon, and you're a wizard. I got this +1 sword. I found it. Nobody wanted it, so I picked it up, and I'm just going to sell it so I can get some money from it. So that's what you can do. You can sell that. Or if you found something else, because normally if you sell anything, you get anywhere between 25 to 30% of the value. If you just straight sell it without a downtime, just say, hey, anybody want to buy this? Take it to the market and just sell it, and you get 25-30% of the value. But let's say you want a full value of item because it's an expensive item like plate mail. Plate mail I think is 1,500 gold pieces or something like that. So let's say you found a suit of plate mail and you like, I want the full value of plate mail. So you spend the downtime selling your non-magical item, and then there were things you can make anywhere from half that, depending on what you find a buyer who what they're willing to pay. They will pay you half of that, which is 750 gold, or they could pay you twice that, which would be 3,000 gold, or they can just pay you the base, which is 1,500. Depends. It's all on the roll and everything. We can look into that later. Then you do training, and then you can do work. Okay. So, most downtime consists of five 8-hour days, five 8-hour days, or a week. We use a week, 5 days. We just say a week. Sometimes we just say five. And so this means you're spending all that time doing whatever you need to do to get this taken care of. So it takes that long for you to do that. So we're gonna go. Let's just look at buying the magic item. This is what buying a magic item and selling the magic item is pretty much the top two things that most people do when they are trying to do their downtime. Okay. So basically, resources basically just telling you how much that it costs. So depending on the rarity type of the item that you are trying to purchase, all right, and with the fee, that's a base fee. So basically, consider this fee you're paying, you bribing, you shouting out, you posting posters and posting stuff on the internet, on YouTube and uh, Twitter and all that stuff. So there's all the money you're putting out there, paying people to pretty much to find a buyer who has this specific item that you want. And depending on the rarity type, it will, is based the cost. The fee would be anywhere from 25 to 1,000 if you're trying to find a legendary item. Okay, so this is the base fee. Then you have to make a roll on the table. So if it's a common, you'll have to make a lifestyle roll, and we'll get into. Let me go here. Lifestyle. We don't use the persuasion. I think it's persuasion. The normal roll is persuasion. I think is what you normally roll, but we can get into lifestyle or something entirely different. That's another video. But each player will have a lifestyle based on how they live their life. So whatever you pay for your lifestyle, actually we get into detail, but basically you pay for your lifestyle each week, and this is how well your character lives. It takes care of their living expenses, repairing their items, and whatever. And the higher your lifestyle is that you pay for, you get to add your charisma modifier to it. So if you have a high lifestyle and you put money into it, your charisma, your modifier could be like a +3, +4, +1, whatever. You can have a modifier there. All right. So basically, you will have to make a lifestyle roll, which is a charisma stat. All right. So basically, now go back to here. So basically, you have to make a lifestyle roll on the D20. Okay. So if you want a common item, you have to roll on a D20 your lifestyle and get a 10 or better. If you get a 10 or better, then you found the person that then you was able to find the person who had the item, and then you can just pay them, and then they'll give you the item. As you can see, some of these numbers are way higher. Like you only can roll with so high on a D20, right? Okay. So anyway, this is where this modifier fee here. So you can purchase anywhere between a +1 to a +10. +10 is the maximum. That's what this is saying up here. Um, you can purchase what we at? Anyway, right here. So you get a plus bonus. So right here, this would say the character gains a +1 bonus on the check for every work week beyond. Oh, that's something entirely different. But yeah, and if you want to spend more work weeks and stuff like that to find an item, you can get a +1. That what is the stupid rules here? Furthermore, reflecting your campaign, the character can apply a non-swing penalty for low magic. Oh well. Seek table. Oh, it's down here. But anyway, I'll just explain. I'm not sure why right there. But basically, for every plus up to a +10, you can purchase that bonus to your roll. So if you want a +1 for a common item, it will cost you 25 gold. If you want a +10 to your roll to find a common item, it would have cost you 250 gold. So your total here will be 200 because you have to pay the base fee, which is 25, plus whatever modifier you want to add to your roll. Let's just say most people just go with the 10, so that would be 250. So basically, it'd be 275. If you want a rare item, okay, you have to pay 100 gold. And if you want to almost guarantee that you get that rare item at a +10, that would be another 1,000, so it's 1,100. So that's where this comes in. So you can add. So basically now, if you purchase the max and you're trying to get a rare item, you'll roll that D20. Whatever you roll at 20, you get to add your bonus modifier plus your lifestyle. If you have any bonuses in lifestyle and stuff, because you have a high charisma and all that other stuff, you get to add that. You get to add that bonus into here. I think you don't get your charisma modifier. Maybe you do. Can't remember. But we change things so much. But anyway, so basically you just roll and boom, if you make the roll, then you get the item. And then down here, this is something the DM does behind the scenes. Based on what your roll was, you get the roll on a special table. And I can show you. So let's just say, all right, who's going for a rare item? I rolled a 27. Yay! So I'll go down here, find out we can 27. Let's know that that's table F. And GM will go here, and I will click this. I'm going to open the module. I thought I had that open. Okay, and then I would just generate this table. So what this says right here, this tells me that, hey, not only did he have the item that she was looking for, but how about I got three other things, because right here it's just the max range tells you how many of these that he has, or she has. You'd be like, hey, dude, I'll tell you what, I got a couple other things you might be interested. I got this Eyes of Charming, 100 gold pieces for that. Got these bracelets of archery. I'll let them go for a low price of 500 gold pieces, and I also got this. Everybody's looking for this. I got this medallion of thought, man. I mean, I really should let it go at this price, but 300 gold pieces is all yours. So anyway, you have this option to buy these other items. Now we do have one rule because all the players sit there like, ooh, what's there? But they're not allowed to intercede or say anything about this. Unless they specifically say, "Hey, I'm going with you on my I'm going with you during your downtime." They want to give up their downtime to go with you, then so be it. But anyway, so or they can say, "Hey, man, I need these things. Hey, if you see an Eye of Charming, dude, trust me, that guy has Eye of Charming. Can you make sure you get that from me, and I'll pay you for it." Basically, what I'm getting at is they can't say anything about what's going on. They can say, "Hey, get that from me. I'll pay you or whatever. This is something between you and the buyer." So you'll get your item, and then you look down here. Maybe some of these things you want, or maybe hey man, Brace of Archery. I got this archer in the group. I'm sure he will love these. I'm gonna pick these things up for 500 gold pieces and sell it to him for 1,000. yes, you can do that. So, but anyway, I just want to give you an idea about that. So that's pretty much how buying a magic item works. Okay. All right, and go down here. Carousing, not much carousing. Basically, you just hanging around, and we're gonna roll a check and see what happens while your carousing occurs. Made an ally or contact or 2 hours of contact. And contacts can really make a big difference in the game. We do a lot of role playing in the sessions that we try. Well, at least we try to do a lot of role playing. So a lot of stuff can be very, very beneficial, especially when there's things you're trying to do, or trying to find, or interact with people and everything. So getting allies and stuff like that can be beneficial to the character. And getting a hostile contact could be definitely to a character too. But that could open up adventures after someone's trying to assassinate you or something. All right, so creating the magic item. So here, this the thing is about creating a magic item. So here, if you want to create a magic item or something like this, you can go down and follow these steps here. And here I can get the common rarity types, range. So basically what this is saying the ingredients. So like what this is, I want to make a magic item or something like this. So the game master would say, well, you it's a rare item. So basically say you need a CR creature or quest or whatever you say between 9 to 12. This could be you need a CR, usually the intervals of a CR9 creature. I'm not sure what the, if you see CR, let's see, what's the CR9 creature? Let's bring something up. Oh, Bone Troll. Yeah, I guess that's the only thing. I don't have the monster manual up. But anyway, to say, hey, you need to find a Bone Troll's tooth or something. That's one of the ingredients for this item. Or you have to complete a CR9 to 12 quest or something like that in order to get what you need to get the materials to make this item. So that's how that works. And then right here, then once you get the ingredients, then they say, hey, you know what, just pay, this going to take you 10 it's going to take you 10 work weeks and pay 2,000 gold pieces, and boom, you have it. Now we have a little more complicated system. Not well, I should say complicated, but we have another system that allows um, that the player can enchant it and stuff like that. But based on D&D terms, this is what you need to do to craft the item. Okay, and it's up to the game master. I mean, first you gotta have the proficiency in the item. So trying to make a weapon, okay, you have to have smithing tools and using that weapon. That's just if you want to use the D&D rules. We have D&D rules and we have Bethica rules, and the players can play by any rules that they want. I don't want to get into too much details, but we have custom rules in Bethica that for crafting and for different things that we use. But if the player doesn't want to use those rules, okay, which is perfectly fine, they just want to go with the strictly the D&D rules, then they can do so. And basically, we have different crafting rules and stuff. We have different items, metals, and magic and stuff like that under the Bethica rules. So, what we tell people that we have specific rules and regulations and stuff on creating these Bethica items and whatever. But the two don't mix. So we basically say if you want to use the strict D&D rules, so if you want to make magic items like this and you want to use it, you can do that, but you will not be able to make the Bethica items. Like we have Mithril, but our Mithril is a little more, does more than what D&D says. Our Mithril glows, it does extra damage, it does other things like Moonstone. If you want to make something out of Moonstone or whatever, you could not use the D&D rules for crafting to create anything like elemental weapons and armor and um, Bethica's special wands, stuff like that are unique to the game there. So if you want those items, you have to use the Bethica crafting rules. But the options are there. Either way, you can go with the rules. And most people go with the Bethica rules and not with it. And then some of these are like especially like the time frames, like take forever to make these items. Like I'm not spending that much time to make these items. But anyway, so this is pretty much how crafting works. Get too crowded. Crafting weapons, and this is what we talked about. Where this is a Bethica rule. If you want to craft armor or weapons or stuff like that, then if you want to, there's a skill called Armor Smith, and this for I can get into detail, but this is a different video. Different video about the skill Armor Smith, and this allows you to make armor. and the Bethiker style armor. Like if you want to start making superb, exquisite, and masterwork armor, if you want to make it out of moonstone or mithril, adamantium, or elemental and stuff like that. You can use your armor skill to do that, or your weapon skills to do that. So the way this works is you want to use it. Say, hey, I want to make a suit of chainmail, okay, and basically based on your rarity, based on your skill level, like I said, based on your skill levels. Let's say you're a journeyman, and you want to lease, well, you need to lease a forge. Okay, you need to have a forge and stuff like that. So this is the leasing price for the forge. So just to make the item and everything, you just need to make the roll. Let me go here. Let's just do a little quick thing here. So basically, starting at second level, you get to choose these. You get to choose levels in these skills. So at second level, you get to choose novice. Okay, so you have to be at least second level before you can start choosing one of these particular skills. You choose novice, and at each level that you advance, you can choose a different skill if you want, or you can keep leveling up into this skill. So we'll go. They say this person does so. A person that's adept would be a person that's sixth level in his class, or his highest class, or what's well his class sixth level. Okay, his total levels, character player levels is sixth level. Then let's just say he's a second level thief, a second level cleric, and a second level fighter. Okay, that means he's sixth level total, his overall level. So that means he at that level he's picked at all his levels. He'd be a fifth level adept. Means he get a +5 to this skill, and then he can make. And it shows that he can make plate mail or double plate, and he can make stuff out of it. And all these are stackable. So, whatever if he gets his level, he can make everything that's previous before that. All right. So then what the person does, so then the person rolls. Okay. So based on the skill rolls, tell you the quality of the item that they roll. So if they get a +5, they roll a 15, so they get a 20. So then that means this is an average item. So they made some plate mail. So they was able to make the plate mail. Now here they need a forge. Okay, so again, just make it. So if they don't own, so if they want to lease if they want to buy a forge, they can go over here. They can pay. If they got the gold, they can pay. Let's say the person has 5,000 gold. He can buy a forge. And what this means, this lets him know the rarity types that he can make. So this person here, if you want to make like a magic, or like if you want to make something that was a rare item or something like that, he has to have at least this forge level of forge in order to do that, because he wouldn't be able to work with those rare metals and ingredients and stuff without having that forge. Or they can just lease it, okay, and they can just lease it and go from there. So I won't get into too much detail, the square footage and not the price of using it and everything, but this is pretty much if they want to craft armor and weapons and everything. This is pretty much the process of doing it. First, they come here, and if they are skilled, they make their rolls. See if they make it. That's fine. Plus, all the forge gives the forge. Anything else? Okay, the player will need to succeed in DC persuasion check. We need to fix that, and let's check before the PC be allowed to use their force. So there's just nothing. They just yeah, that's what that check is. I always forgot what that check is. So basically you have to make I can't make persuasion is probably right. So basically you got to make a persuasion check for somebody to let you use that forge. So that's what this means. So if somebody wants to, so if you want to use somebody's forge, you're gonna have to make a persuasion check, and then right here this will tell you whether or not they will let you use the forge. Or if you if you got the money, you can have your own forge in the city somewhere. I'm sorry if I'm flying through some of this. I just don't want to make this video real long. I just want to go through the basics and explain to you the different things that you can do during your downtime. All right, you can commit a crime. All right, so basically you can go down here and you're gonna make a DC check. And depending, how was a DC check? Basically, okay, so you can make a DC check. So basically, you can choose to be well choose. So to attempt to card a character must make 3 checks. Dexterity stealth check, dexterity using the thieves tool, and the player can choose intelligence, investigation, wisdom, perception, or charisma deception for that other role. So you have to make 3 checks. So if you make If all three checks made earn the full value of what you get down here. So let's just say you want to rob somebody for 100 gold pieces. Okay. So basically, you will have to roll three times. You have to make all three of these checks to obtain the loot. Two checks occur to highest purchase net is a half the payout. So basically, if you only roll two, you only get half the payout. Sorry, some of these we haven't even really done. I think I did this about once. If only one check is made, the heist fails and the character just escapes. Okay. Then if none of the checks are made, then I think you end up going to jail. So if none of the checks are successful, the character is caught in jail. The character must pay a fine equal to the profit the crime would have earned him, and must spend 1 week in jail for each 25 gold of the fine. Ooh, that's nasty. All right, so that's pretty much how that way. If you want to commit crimes, I think I did have one person do this. All right, gambling. Let's see, gambling. All right, the character must make a series of checks with a DC determined at the random based on the quality of the competition that the character run into. Part of the risk of gambling is that one never knows who might end up sitting across the table. The character makes three checks: wisdom, insight, charisma, deception, charisma, intimidation. If the character has proficiency with an appropriate um, game set, that tool feature can replace the relevant skill in any of the checks. The DC for each of the checks is 5 plus 2 2d10. Generate a separate DC for each one. Consult the gambling result table to see how the character did. So basically, what the DM doing is he's going to roll three times so he can get the value or whatever. So I roll 2d10 plus 5. The player will not know what I roll. So then he would make his checks. And it depends on how many times, let's say I rolled a 15. So then he have to roll. Okay, so if he makes no successes, then obviously he loses money. If he makes one of the 15, he loses half his money. He loses half the money that they bet. They make two successes, they gain the amount plus the bonus of half more. So basically, if it's 100 gold, they bet 100 gold, so they get 150 gold. They gain double the amount if they get three successes. So that's how gambling works. And this is something another downtown activity. All right. See, pit fighting. Everybody loves pit fighting, man. And it's pretty much almost the same as the other skills. The character must make three checks. I've done this a lot. It's easy. So, strength athletics, dex acrobatics, and a special constitution check. And basically, what this constitution check is, basically, so one, the character can substitute any of these three checks with a weapon attack. So if they're not good at strength, then they can use they're archer or something, then they can substitute this with their bow skill or something like that, or whatever they want to, whatever weapon that they want to use, their weapon attack that they want to use for. But anyway, the Constitution base is easy. It's easy. Basically, you take your hit dice, whatever your hit dice is. Like I think fighters get a D12. So basically, you roll a d20 plus you roll your d20 for a constitution check. So you'll do a constitution check, rolling your d20, and then you get to roll your hit dice onto it. So if you roll a d20 for your constitution check, and so you get a 13, then you can roll your hit dice, which might be a d12. You roll that, roll a 5. So 5 and 13 is, I said 13, yeah, is an 18. So if I only if I rolled an 18 or less, then you will succeed on that check. So it's pretty much the same thing. If you get no success, because I'm going to roll 2d10 plus 5, so whatever I roll, let's say I rolled, like I said earlier, I rolled a 13. Well, I rolled three times, uh, so I'll just say I rolled 13, I rolled 21, I rolled a 10. Okay, so those are the numbers you have to beat based on the order that I put. So the first roll is a 10, so you have to roll, see if you beat the first roll. The second roll is a 15, then you have to make whatever check you're going to roll to beat the 15. And then the last roll is a 21, then you have to, whatever check you use it for your last roll, you have to beat a 21. And depending on how many successes here determines how much you will win. And I have it, this D&D doesn't do this because at tier two, tier three, or whatever, why would you even go pit fighting? So I actually created a chart for different tiers. So tier one, you can win anywhere between 50 to 200 gold. Where tier two, you can win anywhere between 250 to 1,000 gold. Tier three, 2,500 to 10,000 gold, and tier four, 25,000 to 100,000 gold. So I wanted to keep it interesting as you go up in level, into different tiers. So that way, you say, I still want a pit fight, and it'll be worth your while to pit fight. So that's how pit fight. Relaxation. Okay, relaxation um, requires 1 week. A character needs to maintain at least a modest lifestyle while relaxing to gain the benefit of the activity. And this is the one thing we do about lifestyle. Like, so you pay for your lifestyles. And let me see here. Actually, this is another video lifestyle. So here's the different types of lifestyles that you can get, and this is how much it costs per day. Well, mostly paid by the week. And the nice thing about these lifestyles, they give you bonuses to social roles, which could really make a difference, especially when you buy magic items, you're dealing with NPCs. They're more favorable towards you if you're trying to get a discount on purchasing something or whatever, your social role, okay, or if you're trying to get into like a high society ball or something, or interacting with anybody, social roles. And since we try to do a lot of role playing, um, having a good social standings in the community is a good thing. So basically, you'll purchase this, and then this is the additional bonus that you can add to. As long as you maintain this role, you pay this like the modest. What does it say? Most people jump to wealthy. They say you pay this weekly fee, you get a +4 to any social interaction that you can. Another nice thing is if you don't buy a building and have a place to live, like some people purchase homes and castles and stuff like that. That's definitely another video as well. Because you can do that, you can purchase residence and stuff in towns and cities and everything. But if you don't have that, this is a nice way because a lot of times you have all this stuff, all this gold. It weighs you down. We use the encumbrance system, so you only can carry but so much before you get weighed down. So with by having a lifestyle allows you to be able to store like your gold and wealth. Let's just say say right here you got 10,000 copper pieces. Just what you just do, and you don't want to convert it for whatever reason. But you don't want to carry 10,000 copper pieces around. So you can have a bank that could hold up to 10,000 copper pieces, and you can say, "Hey, hold on this; it's secure. No, you don't have to worry about it, whatever." And it's there. Or if you have items that you don't want to carry around with you, your lifestyle can give you X amount of storage space. So here, like 50 pounds of storage space. So basically, you can store up to 50 pounds of your gear, and not have to worry about it, and it's sitting there, and you're not carrying on your person and weighing you down. So this is sort of some of the things that lifestyles can do. We try to work on adding other things that make it beneficial for you to purchase lifestyle. But the main thing is people like to buy magic items and they want that high bonus because you lose that money to you, that buyer's fee, seeking fee, and everything. If you fail your role, you lose all that money. So, all right. So that's what I say about a modest lifestyle. So, based back to character can maintain at least a modest lifestyle while relaxing, gain several benefits. While relaxing, a character can gain advantage from saving those to recover from long-acting disease and poison. In addition, at the end of the week, a character can end one effect that keeps the character from regaining hit points, or can restore one ability score that has been reduced to less than its normal value. The benefit cannot be used if the harmful effect was caused by a spell or some other magical effect with an ongoing duration. All right, and complications is something the DM can roll to see something else has. So that's basically relaxation. I don't know if anybody's done that. Religious service. I haven't had many people do religious service. The performing religious service requires access to and often attended at a church whose benefits and whose align and ethos, I can't read guys, aligns with the character. If such a place is available, the activity taken one if such a place is available, the activities taking takes 1 work week of time by but involves no gold piece, no piece expenditures. Resolution. At the end of the required time, the character chooses to make either an intelligent religion check or a charisma persuasion check. The total of the check determines the benefits of service as shown on the religious table. So basically, they make that check, and then these are things that will happen. I haven't had anybody do this. I don't know too much about it, but that's pretty. I just read it, so that's pretty much how that. So if you roll that's in no effect, fails to make the lasting impression, you earn one favor, you earn two favors. So I guess earn the favor and stuff from the church and stuff could be a big deal. Especially resurrection. Oh yeah, yeah, I guess nobody thought of this. You earn a favor. So like you die, come here, hey dude, remember that time I helped you out? Well, my buddy here, he got half his face got eaten off by a wyvern. Could you bring him back to life? So yeah, I never thought of this, man. So you might people might want to do this because this could like maybe save you some money on resurrection. I got shit next time I play. I gotta think about this. I guess I never thought about that. Heck yeah, I want a favor with church kids. I die. Hopefully, my friends will bring me back for resurrection. Research, so see research. Typically, a character needs access to a library or a stage to conduct research. Assuming such access is available, conducting research requires one work of effort and at least 50 gold pieces of materials, bribes, gifts, and other expenses. Uh, this, yeah, so reading it short like that. The character declares the focus of the research, a specific place, person, place, or thing. After 1 week, the character makes an intelligence check with a plus one per 50 gold spent beyond the initial 50 gold. All right, to a maximum of plus six. In addition, a character who has access to a particular well-stocked library or knowledgeable stage gains advantage on this check. Determine how much lore the character learns using the research outcome table. So basically, you make a check, see what your role is, it tells you how much information you can learn about something that you need. I don't really have to. Most of my players just like if they listening, I'm sorry, I'm not being mean about this, but most of our players don't research nothing. They just like, oh, there's some tune, let's go there. This tune popped up, or this ancient tune there. I'm just gonna go there, whatever, and just go there and kick the monster. But and they typically don't do any research about it. So, and I do have information a lot of the times. I have, hey, this known monster might be in there. They go in there, like, what do you mean we need the magic to hit this thing? That warrior, you're wrong for putting the monster in there. We didn't have any magic to hit this thing. Well, they would have did their research. They would have realized they needed magic, and they could have made arrangements to get something magical temporarily or whatever to do what they need to do. But now they just run in a dungeon and they yell at me that, hey, we ain't got no magic to hit this monster. All right, anyway, I love you guys. Just teasing. But yeah, research is valuable sometimes before you run to these dungeons and stuff like that. We did one with a haunted house recently. No one did any research about the haunted house. There was a lot of information about the going on for this haunted house and that little evil kids that was going around doing bad things. But anyway, so that's research. All right. Okay. Scribe and scrolls. Oh yeah. Okay, we've done this a couple times. So basically, you can create scrolls. Okay. So basically, if you want to create scroll a scroll for the first level spell or a cantrip, it'll take you 1 day of time and 15 gold. First level spell, same thing, 1 day, 25 gold. So basically, if you want to create a scroll during your downtime, you can do so. But let me read this. I think I've had people do this, but they might. But I actually have a scroll skill right here. Uh, about the skills, the professions. Yeah, we have a scribe, and our scribes can create scrolls, and we do things a little differently. So depending on how you wanna, which rules you want to use, you want to use vertical rules, one of the rules you can create scrolls and stuff like that. But we're gonna read there. So scribe a scroll takes an amount of time and money related to the level of the spell the character wants to scribe, as shown in the spell scroll cost table. In addition, the character must have proficiency in arcane skill and must provide any material components required for the casting of the spell. Moreover, the character must have the spell prepared, or it must be among the character's known spells in order to scribe a scroll of that spell. If the scribe enchanter, the version of the scroll works as if the caster were first level. Okay, so pretty much if you want to start scroll, this is how you do it. We in Basic we do it a little differently. One, you don't have to know the spell or anything or have that stuff. You just get use the materials and you just create it. So you have to see which one you like better, what you think is better for your use, but we do a little differently. All right, let's see, where are we next? Seeking and craft. So this one I was telling you, this is one thing that we do in Bethica because we also have, go back here again, we have an enchanter, all right? So we have enchanters who can enchant items, and depending on as they level up, they show you what they can specialize in. You choose one as you choose whatever you want to. Each level, you get to choose what you can craft. Okay, and whether it's rings, rods, staffs, wands, or one sorry, no, you don't see armor and weapon because that's under the armor stuff. So they just making magical rings, magical rods, staffs, wands, and wondrous items. So as they go up in level, they get to choose. They choose yeah, every 2 levels. I thought they get to choose a specialty. Okay. So this, like I said, this is the Bethica skills. So, and then this here tells you if they want to craft a common item, um, it will cost them 30 gold each, plus a work week and a focus crystal. And they have to have a common focus. What is there's 4 types of focus crystals, all right? And so basically, you have to have the right focus crystal to enchant an item. So, and as long as if you have a rare, you can enchant common and uncommon. So it's not like oh, I got rare, but I can't do uncommon. No. They're backwards compatible or whatever that word is. Okay. So basically, if you have a rare focus crystal, then you can make common, uncommon, and rare items, but you couldn't make a very rare item. And so as long as you have the focus crystal, and these focus have uses, so I think it's like 10 uses. So once the uses used up, you have to buy a new focus crystal. So basically, you pay this fee, you spend the time, and then boom, you can make the magic item. But you have to make your roll as well. So down here, oh, and then there's bad things that happen. Whew. And if you fail, if when you do it, yeah, bad things can happen. So based on your roll, whew, bad things can happen. So if you try to make a common item, and you fail your roll, then you can take psychic damage, and everybody within 5 feet can take psychic damage. So if it's a higher roll, and you fail a save or whatever, and look at that, most people will take some damage. So literally, you don't just go around making magic items. So, but like I said, there's more detailed into this. That's another video. But basically, you just have to make your roll. This is your bonus to your roll, and determine what type of item you want to make, and here's the DC here. So we want to make a uncommon item, then you have to roll a 16 or greater to make the common item. If you fail that, then that's when you take psychic damage and it explodes, and everything within 50 feet will take damage. And that's where you get bonuses to the roll as you go up in levels. So as you go up in level, you get better at it. And like I said, these are the ingredients that you have to pay to make the item. So I don't want to get too much of that, but anyway, so basically, you're seeking a crafter. It's the same, almost same thing like buying a magic item. You're going to roll on the table. Here's the fee here. Okay, so you pay the fee, and then you make a roll to see if you can find someone that would enchant an item. So the way this works is, like I was saying earlier, you find that you have a masterworks longsword. Okay, you don't have an enchanter in the party, so you want to find an enchanter. So you want to make it I think plus. You want to make it a +2. You want it to be a +2 longsword. Okay. So basically, you pay 100 gold. All right. You roll down here. There's a rare item. And you want to find something that can make rare items, you roll down here, and if you roll that, then you find an enchanter who will enchant it. But there's a fee on top of that. So depending on they usually charge about, I think, anywhere between, I think they charge anywhere between 50% to 75% of the item's value. So if you already had the item, you want to enchant it. So let's say a plus or rarity is rare. Yeah, I think rare is 5,000. Yeah. So So basically, you will pay a percentage of that 5,000. So he might just say, okay, I'll make it for you for 2,500. Okay, so it's a nice way. You already have an exquisite item that can be enchanted because it has to be an exquisite item before it can be enchanted. So you find an exquisite item that can be enchanted, and you want to put a +2 on it. So a +2 item is 5,000. He might charge, like I say, he might charge you. Um, yeah, I mean, he might charge you 1/3. Sometimes I think it's 1/3 to half or something like that, depending on what the GM wants feels like charging and rolls on the table. But anyhow, so you can basically, let's just say half. So basically, you pay this fee of 100. You find the enchanter. He says, okay, I'll do it for 2,500. So you get yourself a +2 magical weapon, rare item, which you can turn around and sell it for more money. All right. But anyhow, so that's pretty much how enchanters work. Hope I didn't skip over that, but this thing bad. Magic game, you have to make a lifestyle roll down here. If you make the roll, you find them. Then he tells you how much he's going to charge you to make it. All right, let's see where we at. All right, go through some of these. Okay, sell an item. Okay, so sometimes people want to sell an item or magic item. All right, so it's almost the same thing. Finder's fee. So if you have a rare item, let's say that +2 sword, and you want to sell it, and you want to pay this to get a finder's fee. Okay, so you pay this 100 gold for the finder's fee, and then there's a yeah, yeah, finder's fee. And depending on what type of item is, will tell you what the base price is going to be. So let's say it's a rare item. So the base price of selling a rare item is 4,000 gold pieces. So you're going to make a lifestyle check. So you're going to make a lifestyle check, and if you roll a 10, if you roll a 10 or less, he'll give you 50% for your item, which will be 2,000 gold pieces. Now, if it's someone talking about consumable. Consumables always have to cost. Okay, so if this was a consumable, this would only be the base cost for consumable, like a potion or scroll or something like that, would be 2,000. So you don't get the full value. So in this case, it'll only be 1,000 if you roll 50 or less. So we're gonna go with like our magic sword. So if you want to sell a rare item, which is 4,000, you roll 10 or less, you can get 2,000. If you roll a 11 to 20, you get the full value, which is 4,000. If you roll a 21 higher, you can get 50% more, which is the 6,000. So that's how I sell it. And this will work for anything you want to sell. Because like I told you before, normally you sell anything, you get 25 to 30% of the value just to sell it outright without using the downtime. Some people do sell magic items like that. But in this case, mostly you want to do this. You're going to sell like armor. Like armor is 1,500, or something like a gem. Well, not a gem. You can actually trade a gem, but it could be whatever it might be that might be valuable that you couldn't just trade for gold right outright. So like I said, just like a non-magical plate mail, that's the highest thing, so it's easy to say that's 1,500. So if you want to do that, you go down here and you can sell it. And then the game master just have to figure out the price for that. So it wouldn't be like it's not really something in this list, but he can do the math and figure it out. But it's like so you can use this thing, even though it says selling magic items, you can use this to get the full value of other items that you might want to have and stuff. Okay, so that's how selling item. So two more training. I don't know if we ever really did training. Okay, given enough time and service of an instructor, a character can learn a language or pick up a proficiency with a tool. I know D&D have their rules, and I've been thinking about modifying this where you can actually maybe learn skills or get a proficiency in the skill or something. I don't know. I'll be discuss that with the game masters and designers and stuff and see if that'd be too OP. But I guess it's cool to learn a language or proficient in a tool. But no, hey, maybe learn a language. I might want to learn. They run to a lot of creatures, don't understand what it says. Like I can see the benefit for sure, but it would be nice you can maybe learn something else other than learn a weapon skill or something. I don't know, but that's just something to discuss. But um, resource. Receiving training in a language or tool typically takes at least 10 work weeks, but this time is reduced by the number of work weeks each of the character's intelligence modifier, and intelligence penalty does not increase the time needed. Training costs 25 gold pieces per work week. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool. Then sometimes I might want to just learn to speak another language. But man, 10 more, that's almost two downtimes to do that, though. anything complexity, so we don't get into that. Basically, we roll on the table. This gets in. Let's start. Oh yeah, roll on the table, and then bad things can happen. Basically, you committed a crime against a teacher or something. So anyway, that's how training works. Let's see. Work. We have definitely had a few people do this. Perform a job require one week of effort. To determine how much money a character earns, the character makes an ability, strength, athletics, dex, acrobatics, intelligence using a or intelligence using a set of tools, charisma performance, or charisma using a musical instrument. Consult the wage table to see how much money is generated according to the total of the check. So we have definitely had some people do this. They just broke. They ain't got no money to do anything, so they say, hey, I'm just gonna do a work week, and then basically they make it whatever check that is and make it, and whatever they roll, they get this here. So that's pretty much the gist of that. All right, guys. Who knows how long the video? I mean, it's almost an hour. But I think it's informational. I mean, I hope I was entertaining. I hope I was able to explain everything well. But anyway, so this is pretty much how Downtime works. So if you want to know anything about Downtime, this is pretty much watch this video. Oh, can watch this video and you'll learn about Downtime. D&D Beyond. Oh, there's some links to the Downtime D&D Beyond, Downtime's activity, what it is, how it works, and everything. So anyway, if you ever have any questions or anything, or if I could have did this video better and I really sucked at it, just let me know. Anyway, guys, love you all. Enjoy playing games with you. And if I haven't played games with you, hey, come and join us and play games with us. But anyway, happy gaming, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.